Have anything to eat at this joint?
We can make you a roast beef sandwich, potato salad, and some egg.
That'll do fine. Get cooking.
Manly. You know what always gets me annoyed? When people complain about seinen anime and their temporary censorship, which will be removed on the home video release and they probably won't even buy it because of their opinion the manga is better. That annoys me. Well, do I got a treat for you. What if I were to tell you there's a seinen anime out there that had no violent censorship, no nudity censorship, and actual sex scenes? This anime is not a hentai, but there's plenty of times to jack off. This is the manliest assassin crime anime, Golgo 13. Manly! A long time ago, before you were born, there was this guy named Takao Saito, and one day he thought, hey, I have an idea for a long-running series, and he created the seinen gekika manga, Golgo 13, in 1968, only a year after the seinen debut of Lupin III. I'm releasing this video in 2017, and in this year, the Golgo 13 manga is still going. Currently, it's the longest-running manga series in existence. Prior to Golgo 13, it was the Shonen Jump comedy series Kochikame that used to hold that title, but not anymore! Golgo 13 has 183 volumes and counting. Back in 2015, the author said he would end the series once he reaches 200 volumes. Furthermore, this man is over 80 years old, and he's still working on Golgo 13 since 1968. Damn! And you thought Araki and all that were committed, but this guy... Holy shit, Takao Saito, are you sure you can live long enough for 200 volumes? Thankfully, this video is not about the manga, but the 2008 anime adaptation. Before anime streaming was a thing, Golgo 13's popularity existed in America in very unique places. The best example is his appearance on the NES with his game titled... But his first animated work was the movie The Professional Golgo 13, released in 1983. And was the first anime to experiment with CGI. We've certainly come a long way since then, at least in movies. There was also the 1998 OVA Queen Bee, and throughout the 90s and early 2000s, Golgo 13 managed to release some of its manga in either comic book formats or in manga form. So now we move to the year 2008 with its premiere on the TV screen. This anime also marks one of Sentai Filmworks' earliest licenses, and you can really tell. But before I make criticisms, who exactly is Golgo 13? The entire series in both manga and anime material are always episodic, with hardly any continuity. Most stories center on Golgo 13, aka Duke Togo, a professional assassin known to be the best sniper of the world. This man can be hired with a fee of $3 million and guarantees to fulfill any request as long as you don't betray him. Traitors will be killed. However, sniping isn't his only talent, as his skills are numerous, capable of incredible feats. He's often been called the Japanese James Bond. While it's not an exact comparison, Duke Togo does have roots with Agent 007. Before Takao Saito created Golgo 13, he worked on James Bond manga, and various traits from that character were passed to Duke. Examples include his intelligence, combat abilities, escape artist, the usage of various weaponry and vehicles, but especially charisma towards the opposite sex. In terms of behavior, Golgo 13 has more in common with the character Agent 47 from the Hitman series. Duke Togo tends to remain silent while fulfilling his objective, which resulted in cold-hearted murder, but various episodes imply that this man has some humanity, or at least understands people. This pro is known to be mysterious with hardly any information detailing his motives or upbringing. Because of unknown factors like an origin story is what makes this character a dangerous and fearful individual. With machine-like precision and unbiased judgment, Golgo 13 is the perfect killer, leaving behind no witnesses, only the remains of his targets. Much of the appeal of this show heavily relies upon the viewer's interest. In other words, depending how much you like the main character will determine your enjoyment of the anime series. The 2008 anime is a total of 50 episodes, each nearly being standalone stories, with the exception of a recurring character who works with customizing Golgo's guns. Various episodes are adaptations of manga chapters, and given the ridiculous amount of manga that exists, it's very possible for certain stories to feel similar or contain recurring plots. From what I noticed watching the series and reading manga chapters, the anime has a couple of different formulas for scenarios. Some episodes focus on Golgo 13, but you will encounter many episodes following the viewpoint of either the client who hired Golgo, the target that Golgo must kill, or a rival character attempting to kill or arrest Golgo 13. Within 50 episodes, Golgo 13 manages to be placed in plenty of entertaining dilemmas. Some do feel repetitive, but it is expected from something that has been running for nearly 50 years. So there are some episodes you're not gonna like. In exchange, we do see a good amount of diversity. One episode was centered on Golgo focusing to achieve an impossible shot with a slow, suspenseful pace, while another episode appears like a Pulp Fiction or a crime noir story with trench coats and fog and everything. Then sometimes you come across a tale which is more about someone's life and how Golgo affects it, and other times you get a really action-packed over-the-top episode. So there's definitely something for everybody. Before I conclude this video, here's a brief pros and cons. A minor con is the English dub for Golgo 13. To be honest, I watch the English dub and that's my preference, especially on very Americanized anime, but there's problems. As I said earlier, this is one of Sentai Filmworks' earliest dubs, and sometimes I wish they would redub the show. Recently, Sentai Filmworks has really stepped their game up since their early days, with dubs such as My Love Story, Parasite, and Akame ga Kill. One such reason for their improvement is having a much bigger selection of voice actors, in contrast during the time Golgo 13 was being dubbed. Originally, only the first 26 episodes were available for home video, and it'd be years later till the rest of the series got released. Since they were short on people, you will hear a lot of the same actors in almost every episode, most notably Andrew Love, Lucy Christian, Shelley Colleen Black, and Chris Aries. You will hear them and various other actors attempt to disguise their voice, especially among elderly characters. Basically, they try to keep things fresh by using different voices, but it definitely shows that it was a struggle dubbing this anime with limited resources, which I assume also included editing. There's two scenes in particular which were clearly errors or outtakes, yet they were released in the final product.
Anyway, get some clothes on. We're going out.
I don't feel like going. Where to? I don't feel like going.
And I'll bet my career's an FBI agent on it. I mean, that I'll send you to the chair. Not that my name's Leon Goldman. I mean, it is Leon, but don't look at me like that.
Then what makes things even interesting are two episodes which I'm pretty sure were dubbed intentionally bad. Given how much more dialogue was added and how different it was from the Japanese script, I'm just going on a gut feeling bad dubbing was done just to spice up a dull episode.
JJ is an expert marksman with almost 3 Olympic gold medals for shooting.
That's true.
This island was designed with his participation. So long as I'm here in this island,
What he's saying is right.
I'm 100% safe.
Well, things got better with the releases of the other episodes, so now you start hearing a bit more people, including Monica Rial and Greg Aries. Oh, by the way, this is the first time I ever heard of David Wald, who plays Golgo 13, and he has a lot of range. A good idea of demonstrating his shifts in vocal performances can be found with Bulat in Akame ga Kill and Teppei from Toriko. I'm just really happy that this guy has done a lot more work since my first encounter with him. Honestly, it is difficult to dub long shows with many extras, such as Detective Conan and Hellgirl. Every episode always brings new characters, meaning it's gonna be a constant revolving door, eventually leading to the point where we're gonna have to recycle the same voice actors, especially when you have a small cast. I'm actually surprised with the animation of this series. I'm not speaking for everybody, but I assume most people think good animation only applies to fast, energetic, destructive fight scenes. No, good animation can be found even with the littlest of things, such as basic movements of the eyes, a flow of a cape, or a 360-degree turn, or even the detail of cigarette smoke being caught underneath your hat. In the case of Golgo 13, most of the backgrounds are really fascinating, especially city scenes. One of my favorite shots is in episode 8, which features many household objects drawn in a realistic fashion, but even the lighting impresses me. Like this scene, it's night out, it's raining, you can see the raindrops and fog on the glass window, but also a reflection. I'm wondering how to draw something this complicated. There's some episodes which definitely take a different style, as mostly everything and everyone looks realistic, and then there's other episodes which play around with colors, but then there's also episodes that look really detailed. Also, I'm curious if episode 3 actually animated every single one of those cars, or are they CG? And if they are using CGI, that is some smooth blending. There's little subtle yet grand pieces of art scattered throughout this anime, and every time I watch the series, my eyes pick up something new. Golgo 13 is one of the earliest manly anime I started watching, along with Fist of the North Star. Over the years, the series seems to have gotten a cult fanbase, but that's always been the case with Golgo 13, even with the manga. The character, however, is definitely known very well in its homeland of Japan, to the point where he was used as an advertisement to the Japanese military. And in the world of anime and manga, Golgo 13 somehow manages to be referenced or parodied every now and then. Among American anime fans, I think most people who are interested in this series are either fans of manly anime, or just older men in general. While it is a crime series featuring an overpowered character, it's not really something everyone will like. I recommend giving this series 13 or 14 episodes to get a feel for the character and the show. Sentai Filmworks originally released the series on 4 DVD sets, but currently in 2015, it's being released in a big package containing all 50 episodes. Meanwhile, Discotheque Media released the movie on DVD and Blu-ray. Queen Bee is the only product that's out of print. In my experience with Golgo 13, this anime is definitely an essential seinen, especially when its age is taken into consideration. Over the years, there's been various crime-themed anime, but this one possibly shows the standard for an assassin's code of conduct. I remember somewhere Takao Saito saying that the stories involving Golgo were an attempt to be passionate, a modern take of the samurai's bushido while bearing traits of a death figure, hence his symbol of a skeleton with a crown of thorns. If you're interested in learning more about Golgo 13, then visit the Golgo 13 Tributes playlist. I'm the Anime Hero, and I review anime so you can enjoy it. And of course, if you value your life, don't stand behind it.